Hello everyone and welcome back to my Let's Play Pesterquest. Last time we hung out with the Vriska and we flarped with her and we fed some people to spiders, so yeah, typical Vriska stuff. And today we're going to hang out with, Equius, okay. Equius is actually a guilty pleasure of mine. I think he's a very interesting character and I actually really like him, so yeah. Begin the friendship process. It's a clear, cool night, and you're wandering around trying to decide whose hive you should crash at before the sun comes up. It's nice having so many options for places to stay. You've cultivated a decent community for yourself, and there's an ember of pride in your belly about it. Still, you find yourself feeling a little aimless. The last couple of friends you made were pretty intense. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but you're vibing at a chiller frequency right now. There's still a while until it gets dangerously light out, so you sort of pop around, seeing what feels right. It's kind of fun to test out the boundaries of your powers. You've used it to find friends, but you're really not sure how far it goes. You think tree, and you don't know how your magic brain decide which one to choose, but fuck if you aren't sitting on an extremely high branch a second later. You try it again with whatever concept comes to mind. Garden. Cave. Mall, and it all works. I remember all these places. You don't remember ever having been to any of those specific places, but you feel a strange, prickly affinity for them each time your feet touch the ground. Those are all pretty generic locational nouns, though. You wonder if it works for things that are more abstract. Quickly, before you can talk yourself out of the naivety of it, you think home. It still takes you a minute to open your eyes, even after you feel your guts all back in the right place, because what if you wake up in a room that feels like yours? Or, worse and infinitely more likely, what if you don't? You breathe in deep and immediately cough rigidly. Oh, this place. You open your watery eyes, cling to the hope that maybe you come from a land of dusty comforts, where you always just breathe in layers of dust and it's fine. It's not fine. You land inside one of the most spindliest, most precarious hunks of metal that's ever been bolted into the side of a cliff. It looks like some ancient outpost, not homey at all. Of course that wouldn't work. It was stupid to try. Defeat is bitter in your mouth. It's sad that we don't remember any of this. I hope that we fix this by the end of the story. There's a twisty part of you that wants to curl up on a particular piece of floor and take a nap. You can't work out how much of that urge is just you wanting to give in, or so just in case you don't surrender to it. Maybe you'll come back another time and sift through all the shit on the shelves. But for now, you're not sure how structurally sound this thing is, and you can't take any more disappointment. So you try one more time to pop up somewhere you haven't been before. What was that one guy's name that Gamzee mentioned? Oh yeah, Equius. Maybe he's chill. Sometimes? You think his name and zap away, imagining yourself leaving an edgy, despondent swirl of dust in your wake. Oh hey, he's definitely not chill right now. I like how he has a framed bow and some broken glass on his wall. And of course the muscle beasts. Your magical zap calibration maybe isn't as off as you thought because you pop down Equius as close as it is possible to get to the dude without landing directly on top of him. The astonishing unchillness of the situation is immediately apparent. He's mid-jump, mid-yell, mid-sweat, and mid-swing of an outlandishly beefy arm down toward you. You freeze frame like an anime protagonist analyzing their choices mid-battle. In your drawn-out split second of an observational window, you realize he's not aiming at you, but in the direction of whatever noisy whirring thing you happen to plop down in front of. Fuck? Aw. He's cute. As soon as he sees you, his eyebrows shoot up above his busted-ass sunglasses and his yell strangles itself into panic. His arm shudders as though he's trying and failing to alter his glorious faceward trajectory. You really do not want to get your face punched off your head, so you scream and zap to just outside the high arch door on the far end of the room. Oh, those are some nice statues, friend. You hear a deep, meaty thunk, followed by a groan, then a sharp metallic crunch. The whirring stops. Oh my god, is he dead? Is the other thing dead? Should you go check on him? You skitter away from the door and then back to it, unsure what to do. Was that... No, it can't have been. Hello? Show yourself this instant. Ah, fuck, he does not sound happy. His words are a little garbled too, like some teeth just got knocked out by whoever's ass he was just kicking. Also, he's not doing his little bow and arrow thing. Why is that? You weigh your options. Be brave. Let's go say hi. Oh no, oh man. You know the Gamzee seal of approval is maybe not the most credible, but this guy might be an okay dude. And it would definitely be your fault if he was hurt in there. You should at least check on him. Explain or something. You can zap away if it comes down to it. Hi. You do the polite thing this time and knock. He opens the door fast, like he was just on the other side of it. You both jump. He collects himself and glares at you, arms crossed against his heaving chest. Rivulets of blood and sweat run together and pulled in the divot above his weird alien clavicle, and a low menacing sound rumbles through him. You can feel it in your teeth. Holy shit, he's terrifying. Not really. I'll say he's one of the nicer trolls, his weird, high blood prejudices aside. Explain yourself immediately. Oh, that smile. You think you might shit your pants on the spot, but he gives you a quick up and down and rearranges his expression to sort of forced smile. It doesn't really feel any more welcoming, what with the blood dripping down his chin, but the fact that he's trying is maybe a good sign. You hold in your fear shit just in case. Or, perhaps, come in and take a seat. He steps aside to beckon you through the door, then sort of freezes. Unless you should be the one instructing me, in which case it would behoove you to make that promptly apparent. He's not sure what blood color we are. Poor guy. I cannot work out how exactly to address you when you don't wear a caste symbol and you look like that. Which I'm either very sorry for or quite cross about, depending on where the truth lies. Either way, I'm beginning to perspire about it. So out with it right now. Man, he's really struggling. The anger you felt radiating off him before is still there, but that doesn't seem to be all of what's driving him. It's like there are two competing forces inside him. One that wants to yell at you and one that wants to get yelled at by you. He's a very confused switch. You might conceptualize these forces as fierce animals warring in glorious and unwavering balance. Horses, perhaps? Anyway, you'll workshop that metaphor later. You tell him you know you look weird, but you promise you're cool. You know a friend of his. At the mention of Gamzee, the corner of his lip curls up into something complicated, so you change course real fast just in case. And Karkat, does he know Karkat? What a guy. He eyes you warily. Or you think he probably does. With his eyes hidden behind his shades, you can't be sure, but he's being very still. Sweat and blood are still just fucking running down his face, and he's not even acknowledging it. You laugh nervously. You both continue to stand there, waiting for the other to make a move. It'd be super helpful if someone was assertive around here. Hi, Arthur! Luckily, some kind of cow centaur man, his loosest you assume, breaks the awkward doorway stalemate by silently trotting up and handing Equius a desperately needed towel. He then offers you both some frosty glasses of milk. Poor guy with his black eye still. Something deep inside you feels a swell of warm recognition for the ritualistic moment of a friend's parent bringing you snacks. So you down that thick shit in one go. The looseness of his mustache flutters in appreciation, and after a nod between him and Equius, he leaves as quietly as he came. I see you're an aficionado of the sweetest of nectars. This speaks to the likelihood of your nobility, which is reassuring. I may be able to overlook the circumstances of our meeting, then. If you can provide strong evidence, of course. Tell me, are you also a hoofbeast art enthusiast? Horses are okay. They're not my favorite animal, but I don't dislike them. He beckons you inside the room, and as you follow, you tell him that you're not really sure what that means, but probably you're a fan of a lot of... Oh. Wow, okay, so that's what that means. Cool. Yeah, you know, whatever. You feel like you learned once that anything can be art if it feels right, so art can definitely be the, well-muscled horsemen on the walls of this here living space. Equius rumbles in agreement and gestures towards the chair. It's one of those cool red and black gamer-themed chairs with embedded speakers. There's a lot of that kind of decorating motif in here, which is a little at odds with the high ceilings and engraved doorways and general blue blood old money architecture. Oh, yeah, and there are broken bows and robot parts all over the goddamn fucking place. Not in neat little stacks that are connected to other robot parts to create whole robots, just an absolute wasteland of obliterated robo-corpses, like they all were torn limb from limb just scooted off toward the wall. A fair few of them are splattered in blood, too. Dried, it looks almost black, but the fresh stuff on the fists of the one pieces at your feet is bright indigo. On the one hand, it's absolutely a relief to see that it's all metal and not flesh body parts scattering the floor. But it's still, you know, not fucked up looking. Your smile probably has too many teeth in it to seem normal, but Equius returns it in kind and leans, what he probably thinks is casually, against the edge of his desk. It creaks under his weight. Jesus, he could just end you in half a second, couldn't he? Probably, but he's not going to, because Equius. Oh, that pun. Please, Equius, why? You claim we have mutual acquaintances, so demonstrate it. He nods toward the screen of his desktop, which he has trolling open. Oh, fuck. Okay. You guess you can just click on someone and ask them to prove it? He seems to know both Karkat and Gamzee, and between the two, you know who's most likely to be online and ready to be pestered at all times. So you click a screen name and start typing. Is this me talking? Yeah, this is me, so I'm just gonna use my normal voice. Hey Karkat, I hope you're having a good day. I just had a quick favor to ask you. Wait, what? Also, I miss you. What the fuck? What happened to you? Where's your horrifying quirk? How am I supposed to saddle up for some truly nauseating conversation if I don't have a not veiled at all bold reference greeting me at the beginning of every one of your excruciating messages? Are you sick? Like in a new way? Alright, Jesus, you're logged in as Equius. Your fool ass just started typing like you had your own account for some reason. You blame it on the nerves and get to clarifying. Oh, sorry, this is your new friend. It's interesting, this is the first time I've actually heard the MSPA reader talk, really, because instead of just describing what they said, they're actually talking now. After I dropped you off yesterday, I wandered around for a while and now I'm hanging out with Equius. I'm using his computer. Oh. My pusher almost fucking gave up on the spot. I don't think he trusts me. Can you vouch for me? Hold on, let me just bask in the concept of the two of you hanging out. This is a mental masterpiece, a tableau of awkward fucking splendor. I legitimately do not even know what sort of short-circuiting must be happening in his brain to try and make sense of you. Please don't tell me a single fucking thing about it later. Okay, I'm done now. Is he watching? Equius leans over your shoulder and tucks his hair behind his ear so it doesn't get in the way of his typing. It's a bow and arrow. Any resemblance otherwise is only a pleasant coincidence. And yes, I am watching. Okay, whatever. Listen up, you milk-log chump squelcher. This little guy right here, the one you're probably dripping sweat all over, that's one of the realest friends you'll ever hope to make. Sure, they'll send your life careening horrendously off course, but it will absolutely be worth it for the level of dedication they bring to the table. Don't even bother with the blood color horseshit with this one, since they're only one of their species. Just roll with it for once in your wretched life. Don't fuck this one up, Zahhak. They're an abomination and they wouldn't know what a boundary was if it took up residence in their grease chute, but you two have those things in common, so in this case that's a good thing. Equius inhales sharply, and you wonder what Karkat meant by that. About Equius, you mean. Sure, you're an inexplicable being, neither Earthling nor Alternian, but with some weird, itching memories having lived on both planets. But it doesn't seem out of the normal range of fucked up concerning troll standards. In fact, how about this? That's sufficient. Goodbye. He minimizes the window and steps back, somehow sweatier than he was before. He taps the towel gingerly to his forehead. So, we have now been properly introduced. Okay then. You definitely thought he was going to be more thorough than that. He does seem a little shaken up, so maybe you should just be thankful the conversation got cut short before you could really dig too deep into your lore and get judgmental about it. I do not know the standard method of communication with your species. You will take the lead here, and it will surely become clear how I should proceed. Yes, that sounds extremely feasible. You will now begin the friendship process. I command it. Oh, sure, you got this. How exactly do you got this? Show off your cool powers? Sure. Great, you can do that. Making friendship happen is like the one skill you actually have. From what you recall, you have a 100% success... Words. You have a 100% success rate at it, too, so this budding rapport is safe in your hands. Excellent. Whew, you really weren't sure he'd be down for this. It really seemed like he might be coming to kill you when you heard him stomping toward the door earlier. Kill you? I would never. He cuts himself off as though he didn't intend to, but he didn't have an aim to murder you and clears his throat. See, he's a nice guy. I like Equius. At first I thought you might be Arthur Milusis. It's ridiculous looking back, though you do share a sort of globular-pated resemblance. How'd you come to entangle yourself in my brawl only to immediately escape? Are you abnormally fast? I admit that particular method of being strong had not occurred to me, but I'm intrigued. I, too, like to test the limits of my physical capability. Oh no, you can just zap places. It's a kind of strength, maybe. If you want to find a superpower that way. You show off a bit since you know Equius likes demonstrations. You tell him about how all you have to do is think of the place or person you want to visit and pop. He's gonna want to visit somebody. Will it be, Nepeta or Aradia? One of them, probably. You bop to the top of the pile of robot parts, then back in front of him on the floor. It's like that, except anywhere. I see. That is exceptional. He sort of just starts quaking gently where he stands. He rubs his neck with his towel, but he's not really even sweating any more than he had been already. It's as though in his excitement he forgot to sweat, just dabbed by force of habit. Is that a thing? Why are you even noticing this shit? Is it possible to bring along a pillion rider? What, like zap a buddy with you? In answer, you extend an elbow for him to grab. His whole body is vibrating by this point. He reaches his hand out, but stops just before he touches you, like he might shock him. It's okay, it won't hurt, you say. His fingers twitch just above your elbow, and his mouth purses in distrust. You're not sure exactly what he's worried about, since you're extremely undangerous, but you let him have a moment to work through whatever he's nervous about. Well, we've never directly harmed anyone, but we've indirectly harmed people quite a bit, so I wouldn't say we're undangerous. He takes a steadying breath. It's a little unsettling to see his face relax even briefly into soft, calm lines. I want to hug him. Flipped palm up, his hand slowly cradles your forearm from below. He nods, a sharp, determined movement, and starts telling you what to do again. You will take me with you. Her name is Nepeta. Do you require any other information, or would that be sufficient? I'll do it. You haven't heard of her, you don't think, but you feel an immediate surge of excitement about this little jaunt. It's probably mostly just the friendship thirst talking, but you can't help but feel like this is a connection that is supposed to be made. Like it's something that matters. You zap away. The pleasant little cosmic slip and slide feeling when you zap around is jolted, like you got yanked off the ride with a fishhook to your guts. You land back exactly where you started. That did not work. Did you mislead me? No, this should work. You're not even high this time. As impressive as the strength of your power is, perhaps you need to apply more attention to the more intricate details involved. She has an olive blood, very short, and shamefully unkempt. This information will help. You hope so. He, is starting to look pretty tense, even with the fond lilt in his voice as he talks about his messy friend. You give it another whirl and then you feel it. That same weighty glare on the back of your neck telling you don't belong. Ah, it's that figure. In fact, you got zap blocked again. You will try again. Each word is ground out one at a time between his clenched teeth. Blood trickles through cracks in his bite and out the corner of his lips. You really don't think it's going to work, but Equius looks like he's a second away from losing his shit, so reluctantly you comply. Oh, I think I know who this is. Hi, Dirk. Just the way the character is talking, it makes me think Dirk Strider. Specifically Epilogue Dirk, so yeah. I'm just gonna use my normal voice for now until we get confirmation on who this is, though. Quit fucking trying to skip ahead. It's not going to work. Yeah, we're being blocked from Nepeta because it's not time to visit her yet. As you hurtle through space-time towards Equius' floor, you start to wonder if this is just going to be what happens now when you try to make friends. You accept this truth into your heart as your face accepts the impending wood planks. Equius lands on his feet a little ways away from you, his hands balled into fists, bellowing with impotent rage. He's not even saying words, just unleashing an agonized, guttural wail. He punches an already dead robot torso leaning against a bookshelf. In punctuation, he kicks its decapitated head, which explodes in a shower of bolts and sparks. As the dust clears, you see him dutifully wiping himself down with a towel, breathing hard. He seems to have worked his anger out because he walks with purposeful grace as though he learned it in Cotillion? I don't know what that means. Future Ash, help me. And sits next to where you're still sort of laying on the floor. You're both silent for a beat. Equius tugs a lock of his hair, anxiously wrapping it around his finger. His hands fall to his lap. I apologize for that display. The disappointment emotion is not my favorite. I feel better now, however. My Moirail lives very far away, so our paths have never been able to cross. Whatever force is blocking us seems to wield significant narrative power, so I'll respect its whims as above mine in status. For now. You know it happens. You're no stranger to the ups and downs of friendship. The trick is to know when to keep trying and when to fall back, no matter how futile it feels or how alone you are. Your morale is impressive, considering your circumstances. That's probably mostly a compliment? You're not really sure. Your circumstances definitely feel like they could be worse. You are very sure of yourself. How do you manage this when you are the only one of your kind? Without society to tell you how to act or feel, how do you know if you are living in the correct way? How do you know where you belong? Or if you belong? Fucking ouch. The desire to belong is a yawning wound in your guts, one that never seems to heal. You try not to let this rip too many stitches out of it. You never feel totally secure, you say. There's always a fear, always doubt, always pain. But you find people in unlikely places, make community when and where you can. Shit, you have belongings at what, like 8 people's houses by now? It's not the same as having your own spot, but it's definitely something. You start off on the defensive, but you realize it's true. So really, you figure, you're still defining yourself by your relationships to other people, but that can come from a good place and not just a twisted and forced one. You get wanting to know you're doing something right, unlocking your own mentally devised set of achievements for that sweet dopamine rush. But leaning on a fucked up social system for direction and validation doesn't really help him. It definitely isn't helping many others. You don't need that to figure yourself out. His brows furrow and you can almost feel a couple of the 4,672 rigid barriers in his brain creaking open. Is that just a random number? Does that mean something? It's not just other people you think. You find strength. Oh, sorry, strength, is that right? In your own self, too. You've met a lot of people and learned a lot of ways to be, but you're still working on what that means for you. No, it is not right, but I appreciate the attempt. This type of understanding does not come easy to me, but I believe I am following. In my case, I've striven to locate and retool the edge of my own ability. Physical prowess is a relatively typical indigo trait, but I am abnormally strong. I've worked to hone it in an attempt to make sense of myself and why I am like this. Reining in an aberrant trait and defining myself by it. He gestures to the god-awful robot mess, then flexes his hand. The blood's coagulated since you two started talking. He stares at it. This way of thinking may not always be a good thing, however. Certain habits are difficult to break. Though there are loopholes in every rule, I often lose track of which regulations I actually enjoy following and which I just do not know how to disregard. At least with this hobby, all the stakes are under my control, with no chance of others getting hurt. Unless they haphazardly zap in between your fight looking for friendship, that is. His smile is as broken and rigid as it was by the first time, but it feels different, backed by the rough warmth of his laugh. Yes, do not do that again. Next time you'll zap to the front door and Arthur will let you in. Next time, you think, and you smile back. Aww. We're bros now. Excellent victory! That's all I wanted, to be bros with Equius. Alrighty, so. We're both freaks, huh? That's definitely not gonna go down well, I don't think. You decide to just go for it. Sometimes leaping into what could potentially be a super sensitive topic for someone ends up being the key ingredient of friendship pie. You can see it now, Equius crying, thankful you are here to talk about this unspeakable commonality you share, is wiping his tears with his already pretty soaked towel. You shake yourself out of your daydream and hop the sweet load question right into his lap. Holy shit, you can't wait till this works. Excuse you. Speak for yourself, my standing is unblemished. Karkat is only comparing us in that way to further the ruse that he is removed from that particular category. It is a delicate social dance. Oh, okay. You're not really sure Karkat sees it that way, but hey, whatever works for them. Anyway, you know he was just yelling a lot about something that's not a big deal, as is his manner of showing affection. But you just thought he meant, like, the horn thing. The horn thing. Oh shit, you're sorry. You don't know what things are and aren't callable around here, you know? It almost seems like it's all entirely arbitrary and at the whims of whoever's in charge or something. You like the look personally, but you haven't made friends with someone with a broken one before, so you're not sure how common it is. It is relatively uncommon. They're exceptionally sturdy, so it takes something very strong to break them. He looks like he might be about to tell you the story, but somehow you keep not learning the lesson where you should just chill and experience something instead of leap to try and figure it out before it happens. So, fueled by enthusiasm for your newest spur-of-the-moment decision, you stop listening to his lecture on troll biology and focus instead on zapping to the moment his horn broke. Troll biology is probably super uninteresting anyway, and you'll come right back here after and be able to contribute more to the conversation. You pop into familiar nothingness, but instead of appearing at a point in Equius' past, you feel yourself split. It's like looking at a magic eye puzzle, but with your whole body. You try to concentrate to align the segments into a whole, but it's too late. You think for a second it might be a cool new power, but it doesn't feel that different than before, only just triple. It's like there's narrative precedent for this moment existing in more than one plane of truth. Unable to do anything else but sit there in space, contemplating this paradox, you watch. He looks like he's a little younger, but not much. He's beating the shit out of a robot, but it's not the same as it was when you saw it before, however briefly. Then his movements have been smoothed, even in their rage. Like he wasn't afraid until you showed up. Here in this weird half-present space, his movements are erratic. He swings wildly, unthinkingly, like there's nothing left inside him but one last flicker of the fury. His teeth are gritted against tears, and he just looks so tired. You want to pull him back to make him rest. You see him reach for the same conclusion, but not at all how you meant it. He just stops. The robot does not. You feel him close his eyes. At the same moment, you see another snapshot of time, much further back. There's a little grub wobbling its way up a stalagmite in a cave. It's definitely a precarious place, but still somehow feels safe to you for some reason. Safe, but also like super violent. Who knows, there's a lot going on right now. He crawls to the top and roars a baby clicking roar, eyeing a taller cave precipice. You see his little behind wriggles he moves to jump. Over top of that, there's another Equius, looking about the same as he does now, just plus one horn, out for a stroll in the moonlight. This one is about to cross the street when a majestic herd of hoofbeasts crests a faraway hill. He stops, transfixed as the animals gallop across the plain. He does not hear the approaching scuttlebuggy. You watch all of this from your floating void standpoint, unable to stop it. The arcs of their falls align in cosmic synchrony, hair fanned out like a banner of defeat. The echo of the crack the horns make as they shatter reverberates in your teeth. You yell as all three Equiuses hit their respective grounds. You can't help it. You started to care about the guy a little bit. As the sound leaves you, all three of them turn their injured heads to look at you in unison, and you freeze. Shit, that's probably not supposed to happen, right? You were just watching, not changing anything. You barely know what you're doing, though, so you can never be sure. You zap immediately back to the present, winded and dizzy. You feel deeply, suddenly corporeal, like you do when you step off a boat onto the shore, but with each atom of your body separately and all at once. Equius is standing exactly where he was when you left, totally unchanged, still yammering about anatomy. Ugh, good to know nothing got fucked up in the future after you. Wait, you were there. He pauses, shaking his head to clear it as his memories realign. I don't know how I didn't remember. I accepted your offer of friendship and you repay me with this tomfoolery? You knew how it happened all this time, and yet you played ignorant, jockeying for position as someone in my trust, only to play me for a fool. No, see, you did it before. It wasn't until after you went back that this became the way things went, see? The way time travel works is... Do not explain time travel to me. What do you take me for? You're still reeling a bit from seeing him so vulnerable. By varying definitions of vulnerable, you guess, but still. You know you got this information from an unfair source, but now that you have it, you don't feel right just leaving. There's more to Equius than you'd originally thought, and you can feel the chance to learn more about him slipping away. I don't know what it is you want from me, but you will not receive it. Whatever connection you feel to him in this moment, he clearly does not return it. And ah shit, he's clearly starting to get pissed. Sweat begins to beat at his temple. Your brain, scrambling to grasp a hold of any thought that isn't your abject friendship failure, latches onto the realization that, sweat and all, his hair somehow still looks really good. Would not be a good time to ask him about what products he... I don't think this alliance is going to work out. You will leave. I must get back to my business. Your heart sinks. He does have really good hair, though. Your heart sinks as he turns his back to you, presses a button on the back of a robot's neck, and rolls his shoulders. Goodbye. Shunned. Yeah, we shouldn't be prying into other people's pasts too much, especially not with powers that they don't have. That's not really a good way to make friends, I say, as someone who obviously has lots of friends. Definitely. All the time I talk to friends. Nope. I'm lying. Chicken out. You don't know, Equius looks super strong and even more pissed. You really, really do not want to be next in line to get disemboweled. If friendship with this guy is really meant to be, maybe you can reconnect with Gamzee as an intermediary. That sounds like a cool and normal time. Panic grips you as his heavy footsteps approach the door. Forgetting you have a super useful zap power specifically for use in time-sensitive panic situations, you turn and run. You glance over your shoulder as you go and collide spectacularly with a brick wall. Hi, Arthur. Looking up from the brightly polished floor where you lay, inexplicably doused in milk and broken glass, you realize it wasn't a wall you hit. It was a glistening, part pseudo-humanoid, part horse, cow, beast person? Another godforsaken Lucis, maybe? You really aren't sure, but the fact that his top half looks kind of like a more dapper you fills you with the most cursed mixture of fear and curiosity you've felt thus far. He doesn't seem bothered by you at all, only anxiously trying to get by you. You try to stand up, but you slip on the milk and eat shit just as Equius bursts through the door. They both tower over where you lay, flopping ineffectively in a burgeoning puddle of froth. God, is everyone in this house just made of muscle? You've had enough of this regular strength escape attempt shit. Bruised, humiliated, and covered in dairy, you zap on out of there. Yeah, that was pretty awkward. Even Equius feels bad for us, I think. Alright. Some habits. You've helped Equius flex the most important muscle of all. Aw. Yeah, I like Equius. I don't have a ton to say about that route, really. Oh yeah, the warnings. Hold on. Self-harm and blood. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, Equius has always been one of my favorites. I don't know why. I just like him. Also, him and Nepeta have the cutest relationship. They're adorable together. I just want them to be best friends forever. Anyway, really the only thing I have to say about this is that I think that mysterious figure who blocks us when we're teleporting, I think that's, Ultimate Self Dirk. That's my theory for now. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!